Hey, extraordinary people, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm happy to have you. My name is Nadine. In today's video, we'll be talking about coloring your hair at home versus coloring it at a salon. I'll be talking about the pros and the cons of doing either of the two. If you're interested in hearing more, then stick around, stick and stay. You definitely need to keep on watching. Before I get started today, I just want to tell you what this channel features. My channel features topics that are centered around lifestyle, creativity, reflections, and melodies. What does that mean? So lifestyle, things that has to do with my lifestyle that I'm sharing with you. Creativity will have to do with my creative side, designing, clothing, sandals, you name it. Melodies has to do with music. And reflections, I'll drop a little bit of story time in the mix. So a little bit of this and that, and we stir it up and we have a good time on this channel. Okay, so let's get straight into today's video. So let me tell you a little bit about my hair journey. So I was wearing my hair natural for a number of years, and then after that I changed and I relaxed my hair. I was wearing it for quite some time, and then after that I went back natural, I believe, and then I locked my hair. Well, actually my lock how I wore my hair was palm roll. It wasn't the lock method of training locks. What did I do after that? Well, basically after locks, I loosened the lock and I basically continued with natural hair. But one of the things that I was always fascinated with, as you might be able to tell, is coloring my hair. So I remember that, I used to be very cautious because I was always doing it by myself and I would use the tints and the semi-permanent colors in my hair. One day I decided that I wanted to branch off in a little bit of permanence. So I bought some hydrogen peroxide and some basic white and I decided that I was going to color my hair myself. So of course I used the peroxide. This time when I decided to start, I started just brushing it on the tips of my hair, so that worked. It had a buzz. Everything was fine. All right, it went on and I was using rinses and all of that and just giving my hair a little bit of highlight. So I decided, all right, this works, this can go on, a little thing I go on fit. So anyways, I decided to buy some box colors, and as you may know, some of them develop quicker than others, or maybe you didn't know. So of course I bought maybe about three of some of the kit dyes. Anyways, in the same way that I used to leave the semi-permanent on my hair for a little bit, just leave the rinse and I'm all about my business. So child, honey, I left the one that developed quickly on my hair because I thought it would do the same thing. I was ignorant to this whole thing, so I thought more or less that I could have left it the same time, not knowing that it would have developed so quickly. When I went back, I looked in the mirror at my hair. I was super shocked. Well, my hair was mainly the thing that was shocking. My hair was so bright, bright. And of course, I didn't know how to blend colors at the time or change the shades so it not too loud. But girlfriend's hair was quite loud, very abrasive and very loud. And then you know what? I say, you know what the thing is? I'm just going to rock my hair this way. So you can imagine this bright, bold, unbalanced color in my hair. I didn't know much about rinses or that sort of thing. So of course when I finished, I just rinsed my hair out and used the things that the kid specified for me to use. But still, even then, I didn't even get any sort of satisfactory result because the hair just looked like it boom up. So anyways, I wore it like that for quite a while. And I'm talking about in a time when nobody really was coloring their hair, let alone to leave it bright and very aggressive. Yes, the color was aggressive. When it saw people, it attacked them. So it wasn't the best thing to look at. But it was from there that I said to myself, if I could learn how to balance the color that I wanted on my tips or to wear it in my hair, then that's what I'm going to do. So many years have passed since that horrendous or those horrendous episodes. And now I'm coming to you today talking about the pros and the cons of coloring hair at home or at the salon. So coloring your hair at home, if you have gotten a little bit of practice or you are formally trained, then you don't have to worry yourself. If you're doing your hair for the first time, then further down in this video, I will say some things to you that you need to pay attention to when it comes to coloring your hair at home. So the very first pro about coloring your hair at home is that doing this, it will save you some money. To save you some money, it will burn your pocket very much. Versus doing it at the salon. When you color treat your hair at a salon, they can put in highlights or lowlights just to balance out your hair, right? So, pro, you can do it at your home, buy a cheaper set of hair products, and you save yourself some money versus going into the salon and having to pay a little bit extra. One of the pros of coloring your hair at home is that you have the freedom to be doing something else that you need to take care of at home. In other words, you can be taking care of some work while you're at home. When you're at the salon, you're basically waiting in line or having to not be able to take care of some things that you would be needing to take care of at home. Now, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against going to a salon and being pampered and looked after. All I'm doing here is weighing the pros and the cons so that you can have a little bit of idea of what you want to do if you've never thought about it before. Okay? Another pro of doing your hair by yourself is the matter of convenience. For one, you don't have to set up a salon appointment, nor do you have to think about the time that you'll have to spend in a salon, getting ready, going to a salon. All right, so the con in this case would be having to set an appointment or having to go inside the salon and wait, maybe wait in line if you didn't get an appointment, depending on the salon that is, right? So the pro, let's do that again. The pro is that it offers you some convenience if you do it at home versus no appointments and you do it on your own time versus having to meet an appointment as well as if the salon doesn't operate via appointment system, having to wait in line to get your hair looked after. Coloring your hair at home, there are several decisions that you can make on your own while you're doing your hair at home. When you're at the salon, you're dependent on the salon personnel or the stylist to do what he or she sees fit based on their training or the lack thereof. So let's talk a little bit about the cons. All right, so if you're not a professional and you're coloring your hair at home, there's several things that can go wrong. For starters, as I mentioned earlier, when I started coloring my hair, I didn't know the appropriate methods to use. And of course, I could read. I could read very well. But reading it and applying it with timing is a whole other thing, right? It's a whole different ball game. And if you're not aware of the different processes that the color has to go through, then it possibly can end up costing you some more money. What do I mean by this? Well, let's say you misuse or inappropriately use the color at home, then Obviously, the cons of that is that in order to achieve a pro, you're going to have to go to a salon and have a professional correct the mistake or the damage that you have effected to your hair. So, we all need to think about that part of it when coloring our hair at home. Another con about coloring your hair at home is that you should not be too experimental, meaning changing from a bright color to another bright color or just making any drastic color changes without the knowledge of how to go about doing it or on how to achieve the look that you think you want to get, right? That can go downhill very fast, very quick, too soon, right? So you might be thinking of fusing colors together and you end up with something that you end up having to wear caps and spending money at a salon. So the decision is yours whether you want to do your hair at home or at a salon. I'm just giving you options and the pros and the cons attached to them as well. Whew. So one mistake can cost you your self-esteem because one, if it's a case that you could have spent money and just gone to the salon, and instead you decided that, hey, I'm going to do it myself, and you make a mistake and you have no more money to go and correct your hair, then you would either be forced to wear caps or be forced to go out with your hair looking as mine did in the past, as if a bomb had fallen on my hair. That was when I was much younger. But of course, me being the person that I am and not wanting anybody to see that I had made a horrendous mistake. I'm a boom up my hair. You want to see me when me step out. I am stepping with so much confidence. Even when I saw clearly that persons were staring at what I did to my hair. Girl confident. Girl stepping down the road with chin up, held high, head in the air, and making sure that I did not look like how I felt. So I don't want that to happen to you. So here are some pointers that I'm going to share with you right now if you're thinking of venturing out on your own to color your hair. So if you're enjoying this video so far, please go ahead, give me a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel, click the button, turn on the post notification bell. What did I say you're to do? Click the button, turn on the post notification, click all, so that every time I post a video, you will get it. All right? So here's what I'm going to share with you now if you're thinking of venturing out on your own and coloring your hair by yourself. So the first thing you need to do is to protect your skin if you're going to be using color on your hair. You want to be using oil or oil-based product to cover the entire surface of, cover your hairline, right? So you want to protect your hairline. You also want to put on protective clothing. If you're doing it at home and you have an old t-shirt or a dark t-shirt, then you would want to put that on as well. You want to make sure that you're wearing gloves, right? So I think I have skipped way ahead with this first one, but anyways, protect your skin first and foremost, because at the end of the day, when you get to coloring it, you don't want to be looking like a colored Dalmatian, do you? I don't think so. So before you even get to the point of protecting yourself, protecting your scalp, wearing gloves because you don't want to look like a Dalmatian, you want to do a strand test. It's easier to test the color on your hair to see how quickly it breaks and bonds with your hair, right? So you want to do a strand test. At least it will give you a little bit of security when you're able to gauge how much time it will take before it starts changing the color of your hair. or you can watch and see to see the desired change that you want to see made on your hair. So go ahead and do a strand test, please. Another thing you want to try to avoid doing is to wash your hair immediately before you're going to be applying your color, right? Don't wash it on the same day that you're going to color your hair. You may want to give your hair a little bit of time, not a whole week or anything like that, but rinse your hair prior to doing your hair, maybe a day or so before. Well, for me, I'll wash my hair on a given day and color it. But if you're new to this, you don't want to be washing your hair and starting off with your hair fully down. Okay? So you want to think about that as well. Conditioning your hair. And one of the reasons why I was suggesting not to shampoo your hair or wash your hair immediately before coloring it is that you want to make sure that you do a deep conditioning treatment. I'm recommending, in my opinion, I'm recommending that you do a deep conditioning maybe a week or so before you color your hair to strengthen your hair before applying color to your hair to get your hair pliable and healthy enough to take on coloring. All right, that's my opinion and I'm sticking to it. Here's a suggestion. You can use conditioner if you have a conditioner that is not so watery, right? You can practice, you can demo coloring your hair using your conditioner. I mean, it has its benefits. Your hair will become conditioned in the process, but you will get to see or practice application without anything irritating your hair. So basically, you want to segment your hair. When I'm coloring, I generally part my hair in 4 sections. So you can use a conditioner. Yeah, basically, anything that you would have been doing with the color, you can do the same thing with the conditioner. Apply just as though you were coloring your hair, right? And that way you can get to see how well you're doing at not pasting the color on your ear or messing up your hairline. So if you're doing your hair at home, it pays to practice, practice, practice application, but don't practice, practice, practice with the color at first. What you want to do, you really just want to be practicing with your conditioner, practicing how your hand feel in the gloves. There are some gloves that look like a plastic bag, and then you have the latex gloves. I would suggest you get the latex gloves because those hug your fingers, hug your hand a little bit better, and it holds onto your wrist as well in most cases. Just ensure that you're getting the size that fits your hand nicely, right? So basically, you want to be practicing before you end up coloring your hair, before you decide to color your hair. It's hard to go wrong when you have a little bit of knowledge about how to apply. So if you're thinking of coloring your hair, don't rush into it because there are pros and there are cons. You don't want to intend to have a nice hairstyle and you end up with a bombed hairstyle. I don't mean that your hair is the bomb. I mean that your hair looks as though it has been bombed. So I'm happy to share these tips that I have shared with you today in terms of the pros and the cons of coloring your hair at home versus coloring it at a salon. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm happy to take the time to create this content for you. And I'd also like to say to you, if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a like, yes, click it. Also, click the red subscribe button, turn on the post notification bell, click all. That way, you'll be notified every time I post a video. Smooches!